Hey everyone, my name is President Skywalker here, and welcome to another Minecraft video. Today is another snapshot day. In fact, it is a Wednesday instead of the, almost per usual Friday snapshot, which the reason the last two snapshots, 24W18 and 24W19, came out on a Friday was because there were holidays in Sweden. But now, there is no holiday this week, and so we are back to having a Wednesday snapshot. And this one has some pretty big changes when it comes to Redstone. And I want to cover something briefly that I did not cover last week. Because it was confirmed that all the Mace changes were, in fact, on purpose. Or, in fact, added to Java Edition in 24W18A. They just were not in the changelog. So all of the enchantments, all of the damage stuff that's from Bedrock Edition is now on here. So you'll notice if we try to combine this mace with something like Breach, we can't do that anymore. We can only combine Density and Windburst, or you can only combine Breach and Windburst. You can't have these two enchantments coexisting on the same weapon. Now, my thoughts on this, it's a balancing thing. I think it does kind of make sense. The mace was a little bit too overpowered. But with that, we should also mention that the density amount for the mace, so how much damage is accumulated per block, it does have a cap out point to try and get rid of the bug. Not even the bug, but the feature where you could one-shot entities such as the Warden or the Ender Dragon. So they're just trying to make the mace be a little bit more balanced. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm a little bit worried they're going to make the item obsolete, but at the same time, you know, it's a balancing act. So I think it's cool that we're getting a new weapon. I think that alone will give the item some value, but hopefully they don't go too far with it. Another thing that they have changed, well, they've changed Redstone quite a bit in the snapshot. For starters, the Witch will now drop 4 to 8 Redstone every time you kill it. So you can see right there, we got 4 pieces of Redstone dust. Now, the reason for this is to make Witch farms be more viable for Redstone users, because they know that the Redstone community loves to make witch farms in order to try and get redstone and other resources. So they're basically trying to make it more useful. Now, I'm not sure if I agree with the idea of 4 to 8 redstone. I'd say maybe 2 to 4. Maybe that could be boosted up with looting up to 8. I don't know. They could do something with it. Not sure how I feel about that amount, but I like the idea. And then probably the most controversial change, they have changed the button activation sound. I'm kidding. They fixed the bug, though, where buttons were not playing the right sound effect. No, but there is a new sound for the piston. Now, the thought process behind this was that the original piston sound was way too loud, and it was way too annoying. I am fine with the idea of them turning down the volume on the sound, but them completely changing the sound feels wrong. It feels really wrong, because Pistons have been in the game since version beta 1.7, and they've always sounded the way that they did. But here's how bad the new sound is. That sounds horrible. Honestly, it sounds like the sound of a redstone clock. Like, it doesn't fit the piston. And it's even worse when players would use the piston sound for data packs. So remember the piston extending sound? Like, what if you wanted to make a data pack where it sounded like a door opening? Well, now all your sounds are going to be ruined because they completely just remove the classic sound. And I'm sure what they will try to do is they'll be like, oh, you can get the original sound in the classic resource pack, programmer art. But that's not good enough. They really need to revert the sound. I'm not the only person saying this. There's quite a few people on Twitter also complaining about the new sound, and their complaints are justified. I think it's horrible. I'm not saying that a piston sound change couldn't be welcomed, but it sounds awful, and this isn't it. And I really hope they do actually listen to the feedback. Mojang have been really good about feedback lately, trying to, change things to work to the community's wishes, adding things like the wolf armor and making it be basically netherite for wolves. They've been really trying to just get better about listening to the community. So listen to them on this, because this isn't what people want. This is not the sound that people want. So that's it. Oops, just griefed the trial chamber. But that's it. That is 24W, 20A. There's a lot of bug fixes in the snapshot. There's a lot of them. None really worth mentioning. I mean, I mentioned that one with the piston. Or not with the piston, but with the button. Oh, and there was another one where the mace would only take durability damage when you did the smash attack. Yeah, that's been fixed. Which I honestly am grateful for, because that was kind of weird. But, yeah, that is pretty much it for 24W20A. A little bit of recap for 24W19A. They also changed the blur effect, I think, where the settings placed. But yeah, smaller size snapshots, because we're coming to the end, guys. See you all in the next video. Bye!